Welcome back to the Morning Kickoff Show. I'm your host, Matt Witt, and here we are going to talk about 13 Vikings you should be excited for this preseason. The next 3 weekends, we have Vikings football. After that, a couple weeks, the NFL season has begun. I am so pumped, and that's why we're going to be live every Monday and Thursday from now on until February, or maybe even after. We'll have to wait and see. Every Monday and Thursday around 9 o'clock Central, we will be talking about Vikings football. We will be covering NFL news. There's a lot to talk about on the show, and after February, we're going to be celebrating the Vikings Super Bowl first victory of all time. 13 players you should be excited for. I know a lot of people also, I kind of don't like how many people say preseason doesn't matter. Preseason does matter. They say preseason doesn't matter. Preseason doesn't count. It matters and counts to everybody playing in the preseason. This is so important to these players. This is the difference between making millions of dollars and never getting another opportunity in the NFL. Yes, it does matter and count. Matters and counts to all of these players. And we're going to cover my top 13 most excited players to watch this upcoming season. Starting off with 13, we have Andrew Booth Jr., who was my favorite draft pick from this last draft. The reason why I have him so late on this list is simply because my hype for him has kind of died down this training camp. I've seen him get beat by wide receivers too many times. My hype has kind of died down. I don't believe he's going to be our starting corner this upcoming season. I mean, he could have just had a bad training camp simply because he's going against the best wide receiver tandem in all of football. For that reason, I have him this late on this list. Still super pumped to watch this player play. I believe he's going to light up the preseason, have an outstanding performance, and I think we're going to see a fair amount of him in his rookie season. Although I don't believe he will be a starter, I do believe we'll get to see a fair amount of him. Plus, our starting corners are also injury prone. Cam Dantzler has been injured just about every year, I believe. Number 12 on this list, Kellen Mond. Another player who my hype has gone down over the last few weeks watching this training camp. Not the biggest Kellen Mond fan anymore. Huge fan of the draft pick. Just like I mentioned, Kellen Mond was my favorite draft pick last year. Andrew Booth Jr. was my favorite draft pick this year. Both these players, my hype has gone down. That's why I have them this late on this list. But still, I'm so pumped to watch these players play. And if I was Kevin O'Connell, I wouldn't even play Kirk Cousins. I get it. He's not even an injury-prone quarterback, but you don't want to play your quarterback in preseason, in my opinion. Of course, I trust Kevin O'Connell's decision more than my own. With that being said, I'm still pumped to watch Kellen Mond, who's expected to be our starting quarterback in at least the first preseason game. We'll say that. Number 11, Kene Nwangwu. I believe he was actually top 5 last year on this list, and now going into this year, we will actually get to watch him in the preseason. We didn't get an opportunity to see him last year as he was injured. This year he is going to be healthy. Hopefully, knock on wood, will play this preseason and likely start at the running back position, as I don't think it would be smart at all for Dalvin Cook or Alexander Mattison to play one snap in the preseason. They are both injury-prone running backs, and I'm so pumped to watch Kene Nwangwu take yards from the backfield. Also, top of that, Ty Chandler, another name to mention. Both these running backs I'm really excited for. Nwangwu has earned his roster spot already as a kick returner, so he's not in question at all. He's the best kick returner we've had since Cordero Patterson. So there's not much competition since Cordero Patterson. We'll give him that. But still, Nwangwu had a great rookie season as a kick returner. Hope to see a great sophomore season as a running back. So really pumped to watch him play. Number 10, we have Ed Ingram, another second-year player. A lot of second-year players. Ed Ingram's a first-year player. What am I talking about? Ed Ingram was drafted in the second round this year out of LSU and is trying to earn his potential starting role as a right guard. It's very unlikely that's going to happen. He could be seeing snaps from left guard and right guard. He's played on both sides of the line so far in this training camp. Unfortunately, he has not been utilized as a center quite yet. I was hoping that he would actually play Garrett Barberry for his position, but as of right now, that has not been the case in training camp. So I'd expect to see him start left guard, right guard, getting reps on the second team. So he's probably going to start week 1 in the preseason, expecting that does happen. Super excited to watch him play. A player I'm really pumped for. I did enjoy this draft pick. I believe this draft pick, a lot of us kind of just shrugged it off and let it happen. This is a must-needed player for this Vikings offensive line, as this offensive line is the weakest part of our entire team. It was a needed draft pick for our team, so I'm excited to watch him play. Number 9, Amir Smith-Marset, a player who my hype has boosted in this training camp. I am in love with this player right now. I hated him when he was with the Hawkeyes. Sorry, there's probably a lot of you Hawkeyes fans who are also Vikings fans out there. Don't like that team. I'm a Gophers fan, but him coming, playing in purple and gold, that's a massive win for us because so far he's been great. And I'm really looking more at him as a punt returner here because Right now, we're unfamiliar with who's going to be our starting punt returner next year. Hopefully not KJ Osborne. Sorry, I know KJ Osborne. I'm a huge fan of him too. Don't like him as a special teams returner. I'm hoping it's Amir Smith-Marset or it will be Jalen Nailor. We'll talk about him in a minute. But looking at right now, the wide receivers that we will likely get to see the most of will be Amir Smith-Marset. So I'm excited to watch him play as both a wide receiver and punt returner, and really pumped for what he has going forward, as he did have a very good rookie season. Coming from a 5th-round draft pick, solid rookie season for him. Number 8, and this is a player you guys are going to be a lot more familiar with than anybody else in this list. CJ Ham. Why do I have CJ Ham on this list? This is what, 6th season with us now? It's because this might be a 6th season with us, but we're going to see entire different hammer time this year than we've seen in the past. My favorite player right there, CJ Ham, will not only be a fullback for us, is not only going to play starting from the backfield for a lot of us, a lot of the offensive snaps that we see. I'd expect him to play more of a tight end type of role. And this is what we've seen by Kevin O'Connell has talked about how he's going to utilize CJ Ham, and how we've seen him be used in the training camp so far. So I'm really excited to watch CJ Ham play. Really excited to see how we use him. Obviously, we're very thin at the tight end position, losing a lot of our big name players the last couple of years. As of right now, we're looking at Irv Smith Jr. to be our starter, and yeah, we don't even know if he's going to play this next year. So that's a big what if when it comes to the tight end position. CJ Ham, we already know he's a great blocker. He sizes up people 3 times his size. So I'm really excited to see how he's used in this offense going forward. Number 7, Jalen Nailor. 6th-round draft pick from Michigan State. I did not expect to have him on this list right now, but I'm so pumped after watching his tape. If you have not watched Jalen Nailor's tape in college, please do so. It will boil your blood to get excited for, because what do we need right now so bad? We need players that are so fast and can make yards after the catch. Not only that, but we need players who are great and returning punts. That's exactly what he is. I know he's a 6th-round draft pick. He probably will not even get a reception his entire rookie season, I mean to say. His entire rookie season won't even get a reception. With that being said, we should get to see him at least play for the punt return role. Maybe he does start on the practice squad, I mean to say. Still, super excited to watch Jalen Nailor play. If you have not seen his tape, please do so. This player is so quick and agile. He's a fluid wide receiver, and I hope that he can win the punt returning role. I hope we can finally get a good special teams. Please, Vikings. Let's finally have a good special teams. Number 6, Brian Asamoah. Talk about special teams is another player that should play in special teams. I know what you guys are thinking. This is a controversial draft pick. Why do I have him this high if I was not even a big fan of the draft pick? It's nothing against Asamoah. It's the fact that I wanted to see other players drafted more. I would have loved to see Jeremy Ruckert come to our team with this draft pick. That aside, super pumped to watch this player play in preseason and during his rookie season. He will likely get to play both as special teams and maybe even on the defense in his rookie season. Brian Asamoah is going to cause problems for every opposing running back and quarterback. And I'm really excited to see what he can use, or how we're going to use him in the preseason. So he will likely start all games in the preseason. I don't see a case why we should play Eric Kendricks at all one snap, because this player is injury prone and we already know how great he is. There's no reason to play him, in my opinion. Really excited to watch Asamoah in the preseason. I'll give him a chance. Obviously, wasn't the biggest fan of this draft pick. Still, I think he's a solid player. There's a lot of players I would have liked to see drafted over him, but I'm not an NFL analyst. I guess I trust KOC and the coaching staff's opinion more than me. And number 5, a player a lot of you guys are not going to be very familiar with if you're not diehard Vikings fans. Or, well, I guess everybody watching this is a diehard Vikings fan. If you're a casual Vikings fan, you're probably not familiar with this player quite yet. Zach Davidson, 2nd-year player, now coming out of Central Missouri, was drafted in the 5th round last year. Was not activated his entire rookie season, which came by a massive surprise after the Vikings suffered with many injuries by the tight ends in last year. I'm still blown away that we didn't bring Tyler Conklin back. That would be so useful to have Tyler Conklin on our roster right now. But that aside, Zach Davidson, 6'7", 245 pounds, was a beast in college as both a blocking and receiving tight end. Now, he wasn't with a Power 5 school. That aside, you can't take his college tape and say, oh, this guy's going to be a beast in the NFL. We have yet to see that, which is why I have him this high on this list, because I'm really excited to see what he can do against NFL defenses. But looking at the rest of the tight end position, it is very thin. we don't look good at tight end. We don't even know if Irv Smith Jr. is going to play. I'm assuming that we're going to rush him back because we have to finally see him play now that he's going into year 4. Hopefully, he can finally prove himself. Some will argue that he did finally prove himself as a starter, is what we'll say. Johnny Munt now coming onto our team. Obviously, KOC has worked with Munt in the past. We know how he's going to be a good blocking tight end, especially for these running backs. Ben Ellefson, the NDSU guy from Minnesota, we could see him. Maybe we bring in another tight end. It's so tough with tight end right now. I'm really annoyed that we did not bring Tyler Conklin back. That aside, still excited to watch Zach Davidson play. And then number 4 on the list, we have Chris Reed. That's right. I put Chris Reed 4th on this list. Why? Because I don't want to see Garrett Bradbury play another snap in the NFL, at least in purple and gold. Please, Chris Reed, you are the best option we have at center when you're looking at our current roster. Reed, please take the role. Please take the role. I am just asking for an okay center. Is that too much to ask? It's been so long. It's been so long. Chris Reed, please. 2015 UDFA coming from Minnesota State. You're coming back to Minnesota to now prove yourself, please. Chris Reed, I believe he has like 27 starts. He's the best option we have right now. Well, I guess JC Treader would be the best option we have right now. The best option on our current roster. That's why I'm so pumped to watch him play. Him moving from guard to center was a great choice. He's competing for Schlottman. He's playing on the second team right now, and maybe wins the starting role. We've talked about this a little bit if you want to go check out the recent episode. Cam Dantzler is number 3rd on this list. Every year I make this list, Cam Dantzler seems to end up on the top 5 simply because he seems to always get so much hype around this time of year. I believe with Dantzler, the only thing holding him back is his confidence right now. I need this player to perform on Sundays. There is no question this player has the talent tree that we've seen. We saw it as rookie season. We saw it in college. We've seen what this player can do. It's just every time when it comes to Sunday games, he's been giving up big time plays. It just really comes down to his confidence, if you ask me. 3rd round draft pick from 2020, Mississippi State. Now is going into year 3 and it's going to likely be our starter. So he's going into year 3. Maybe we do see a year 3 leap, and now will be our starter on our defense, starting alongside Patrick Peterson, assuming that he is. Hoping this player can play. Obviously, corner has been the biggest need for the Vikings the last 5, 10, 15 years. So hopefully we can see a new corner step up and maybe he develops into a lockdown corner going forward. We're going to have to wait and see. Still, please, Dantzler. Please, you always get my hype around this time. You have such a good training camp, such a good preseason, and then you fall apart during the season. So I'm hoping to see a different story year 3. And number 2 on this list is Jalen Twyman. I definitely have a different list than everybody watching this. I don't think anybody has Jalen Twyman this high. I'm just really excited. I love comeback stories. I'm really excited to watch this player who was a stud. He's starting out at Pitt and then obviously fell off due to injuries. And this is the reason why he fell all the way to the 6th round. Obviously, he was on the PUP list his entire rookie season. And now it looks like this is going to be a redemption story for him. We'll likely get to see him start in the preseason a majority of the games and maybe even be a starter if he does still have if that Twyman is still in him from the past, from the first couple years in Pitt, if that is still in there somewhere, we are just waiting for it to come out and likely, possibly, could win the starting role this upcoming season. He's actually listed as a starter on the ESPN depth chart. Obviously, he has to win the starting role, but that's saying something right there. We do need a 3rd defensive lineman to step up. Obviously, Harrison Phillips and Dalvin Tomlinson are going to be starters. Hopefully, we don't see those players play in the preseason, and Twyman will likely be the standout defensive lineman, and that's why I have him 2nd on this list. Obviously, 1st on this list is Lewis Cine. I have the 1st round draft pick for the Vikings every year to be 1st on the list just because I'm always pumped to watch what they can do. Lewis Cine is a player who everybody writes down as being on the first team, as being a starter his rookie season. Obviously, being a 1st round draft pick, you expect that they're going to start the rookie season. When it comes to him, though, he is not listed as a starter quite yet. He is still playing on the 2nd team, and we have Cam Bynum and Harrison Smith as our starting safeties right now. Assuming Lewis Cine does have a good preseason, he will win that starting role, and I'm really excited to see what this player can do his rookie season. I'm so pumped for Lewis Cine. I'm pumped for all 13 of these guys. I'm sorry. I just love football. I love football. Let me know what y'all think.